Good afternoon, Peter Sidwell here in our kitchen. It is Wednesday and it is time to cook with Masterclass Junior. Now today we're going to cook a recipe, Mexican inspired enchiladas, absolutely delicious, vegetarian, it can be vegan as well. I've got a couple of products here, show you how you can make it sort of plant-based if you want to. But you can also do it as a traditional vegetarian dish. Got these two, they've been out and they've been walked and exercised, so they're not as crazy as they might normally be. Been in the forest today, haven't you? For a bit of exercise. So, first thing we're going to do, get our pan on the heat, and then I'm going to start to talk to you about the filling, basically. So let's get, oh, I've locked it. So, let's get that on. Preheat our pan. There we go. Right, I know he's grown, hasn't he? Right. Okay, so who's chopping the onion? Me?
Me.
You?
Me.
All right. Are you going to... You do tomatoes, right. So you're going to do it all, or do you want me to do half and you do half?
I'll do half, you do half.
All right, I'll do half and remind you. So, red onions, nice and sweet, okay? So they're a good way. Poppy's going to do half, so slice in. I want it as thin as you can possibly manage and as fine as you can. So like that, yeah? So do you remember how we cut in and pull away? I'll be with you in 1 second, Tom. Can you put a little olive oil in there for me? So a splash of olive oil, ready to start cooking. You've done it the wrong way around. That's the cause that way. It's all right, carry on. So, yeah, oh no, a little bit more, please, son. That'll do. Right.
Don't do it the wrong way around.
It's all right. We'll forgive you. I've got a job for you in a minute, Thomas.
Ooh,
so, we're going to get our onions on to cook. So, nice and steady.
Just get rid of them?
That is brilliant. No, keep going. Good chopping, Pops. Good chopping. So, if you have any questions while we're cooking, if you're cooking live at the same time, let me know. I'd love to know who's cooking at the same time. If you have any questions, fire them over on Facebook. Emily will shout them out to me, who manages all the cameras and everything, and we will answer your questions. It doesn't matter if it's not about this recipe. If you've got a cookery question and you want my help, if I can, I will absolutely help you. So, do you want me to run my knife over that, Poppy, and just give it a last chop? Or no, that's okay. Pop that bit in the bin. Right. Who's going to push these into here for me?
Me.
Right, Tom. Push all those into there. That's it. Good. And then go and get yourself a plastic spoon from behind there. Right, now what do we do to onions when we first start cooking them, Pops? What do we add?
Salt.
Good lass. Go on. A little seasoning of salt will draw the moisture out of the onions and help them caramelise and become sweet. Because you need to get the water out before they sweeten up and caramelise. Brilliant. That's good. Now, I want to talk to you about the filling, okay? So we're going to use two different things, but you can actually use one or the other to make the filling and give it sort of substance. Now, are you all right stirring that for me, young man?
Yeah.
Right, Pops, you've got onion eyes. So, you can use king oyster mushrooms or oyster mushrooms. Now, I couldn't get the king ones, so I will definitely, next time I find them in the supermarkets, I will totally bring them in and we'll do something with them. But they are quite meaty in the way that their substance, and you can break them up into pieces and it's almost like meat if you want it to be. But I've got oyster mushrooms today, and the way to treat these is to not do much to them. I'm not going to chop them. All I'm going to do, are you cutting on this, Emily? All I'm going to do is just tear it like this. Do you see how I'm doing that? So I'm not cutting them. We're just going to tear them, and what I'm going to do is get the kids to tear these while we talk about the other filling, okay? So, kids, can you, or Thomas, can you tear these up for me? Mm-hmm. So, watch, you do one, I'll do one.
Oh, he's crying.
So, just grab it like that and just pull it apart like that. Yeah? Oh, be careful, please. Come round here. There you go.
This tin is
All right, just leave that there for a second, Pops. Can you give us a hand? Look, do you see how you just tear them up like that? If it's in a big bit, just tear it up like that. What you don't want to do is chop them. You just want to tear them up so you get that lovely sort of texture. And we're going to add these to the onions. So I'm going to cook these onions that Thomas has done a very good job at, haven't you? All right?
I'm crying now.
If we have any questions, Emily, because I know you haven't done any homework this today, so you have no questions for me, do you? If there are any if you have any questions that come along, you just shout. They don't really tear up in that same texture. And what we're trying to do with the mushrooms is replicate a texture. I mean, it's not going to not work with mushrooms. You're going to end up with a sort of a mushroom enchilada. But the way that we're doing this, I'm trying to create this so meat eaters or vegetarians or vegan, plant-based eating people will all enjoy the same recipe. Because so many households now have different people eating different ways, and it's nice to have a dish where, do you know what, everyone likes it regardless. So these onions I'm going to put in smoked paprika and cumin, and they're the kind of main staple of Mexican food. And I'm going to add a tiny little bit of chili, not a lot, but just a little bit.
Ooh, spicy.
A little bit of spice there, not too much. You can add more if you want, you can add fresh if you want. I've got dried chili flakes in there. Just to give it a little bit of oomph. Chili powder is really harsh and I don't like it at all. I don't use it because it's just so harsh. Right, kids, do you want to start adding those mushrooms into here? Mushrooms are full of water. They're about 30-40% water. Okay?
Squeeze them,
Yeah. Go on, Poppy, you show them. Take one and squeeze it and see if you can see just how much water's in there. Yeah? Can you see the water coming out?
It's all wet.
Yeah, you see?
I've got purple hands.
The most important thing when cooking mushrooms is to get the water out of the mushrooms. So now we've got those in. Do you want to start stirring that up, Tom?
Yeah.
All right, good job. Nice and careful. If I give you this tea towel, Thomas, what you can do is you can hold it with one hand there, yeah? So you're nice and safe, yeah? And then give it a good stir. Okay, Pops. Right, let's talk about the next ingredient that you can use. We're going to add both. You don't have to add both, but it's quite nice to do, or you can add one or the other. Okay, right, Pops. Do you want to get
Tin opener.
the jugs over there? No, you've already opened it. Does it not?
All of the jugs.
Yeah, just bring them all over. I'll show you this product. It's a brilliant product.
Really quickly.
All right. So these are our space saver jugs. They're really, really good. They all sit inside each other. So you've got like 2 different size jugs. Then you've got a colander and then an even bigger jug. And where they come into their own is you just pour your tin. So this is jackfruit. Okay? So
Is it a fruit?
it's an Asian fruit, but it's not sweet. Okay? It's this big fruit. It's knobbly and bobbly.
Did we see it?
We saw it. What did we see it on the other day?
One of the
National Geographic, wasn't it? In Sri Lanka. They were growing in Sri Lanka, and they are actually a fruit, but they aren't sweet. So what you want to do is get the moisture out. So if I squeeze that, this one here. So if I squeeze, if you look, this you can buy this tinned now in the supermarket. Can you see that, Emily? Yeah. And you look how fibrous it is and tender. Okay? And it just
really
all it is a carrier of flavour. It has no flavour at all. And it's a fantastic product for sort of replicating pulled meat. So like shredded duck, pulled pork, chopped up chicken, things like that. And if that's something that you like, but you don't like eating meat, this is a great product. Some people who are vegetarian don't like it because it's too similar to meat. It's up to you. Right. You all right, little man? Mm-hmm. So you're cooking out all the water, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you see all that steam? That's water coming out. So we want this to be nice and dry. So Poppy's breaking up the jackfruit. So what I'd like you to do is lift the jug out and put it on the chopping board so everyone can see what kind of texture you've created out of that jackfruit.
Okay.
And then Thomas is going to start chopping tomatoes up for me. Because you're very good at that, aren't you?
Like this.
Right, so what I said was if you turn it out onto the chopping board So turn it upside down, that's it, that'll do.
It looks like chicken.
And can you see that? Exactly, it does look like chicken, doesn't it?
It looks like chicken that's really
Like chopped up.
chopped up really well.
Exactly, it's like chopped up chicken. So,
I'm just
pop
gonna
it
wash
there.
that.
So I'm going to make space in the middle of the pan so that it goes straight onto the actual surface of the pan. And that'll help us get the moisture out quickly. Because what I don't want to do is rehydrate the mushrooms. All right?
I'm just gonna
Good. You go wash your hands. I'm going to flip this board over so it's nice and tidy. And then my little helper here is going to chop me some tomatoes, aren't you? Yeah? Right, so I'm going to get you a knife. This is a tipless knife. They work exactly the same as other knives. They just don't have a sharp point. But this part, the edge is nice and sharp. So shall I show you? Do you remember how we do it?
Yeah, so we grab it like
So you grab it like that. So lay it flat.
Yeah.
Grab it like that. And then keep your fingers up. Yeah? And cut like that. And that opens it out like so. All right? So you take your time and you don't rush and you concentrate on each one.
I'll do some too so they get...
All right, you come over then. So as soon as they come over, let's pop them in here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add some coriander stalk. So all of a sudden you can now see this. To me, this texture really does. It looks full of flavors and textures. It's going to be really, really nice.
Yummy.
Does look good, doesn't it?
It looks, the dragon fruit,
Jackfruit, it's called.
the jackfruit looks like it's actual chicken
Just-
when it's
it does.
mixed up.
And for some people, that's really good. Your mum doesn't really like jackfruit too much because it's a bit too much like meat. And your mum doesn't like eating meat. But she might try this tonight, I think. We'll see how we go with it. Right, I'm just going to get a little jug of water, of stock, sorry. Have we got any questions, Emily? No? Oh, eh? Good. So this technique is very much about you being able to make the way you want it, okay? So the mushrooms, the jackfruit, the onions, the tomatoes. And then now I'm going to add my stock in there just to create some moisture, some flavour. We're kind of trying to create a sauce. The tomatoes are going to create that sauce. You could use a tin, pour it through a sieve of chopped tomatoes, get rid of the excess water and pop that in. It's a bit quicker if you haven't got, fresh tomatoes to put in. Right, are we nearly there? Fantabulous. So this is a really good example of plant-based cooking, actually, that appeals to everybody, I think. So we've got some coriander here, guys, and then we've got some walnuts. So walnuts are also something that is worth adding as well, for a couple of reasons. One, you get texture, and you also get nutritional value. Really good in omega oils. Walnuts are really good for you, full of energy. Are you going to put these in for me, Tom? Yeah? Right, does anyone want to chop the coriander, or am I doing it?
I'll try it. I'm
Right.
gonna chop coriander.
Can I give you this knife? So it's actually easier. Right, Thomas, you whip those into there and then you're out of Poppy's way. I want you to bundle the herbs up into a pile. That's it. And then hold the herbs, and then what I want you to do is chop through like that, nice and slowly, so that you're in complete control. Take it nice and slow. That's it. Good. Good. Smaller. That's it. Coriander's really delicious. It works incredibly well. Make sure you cook with the stalk. Don't throw the stalk away. It's got bags and bags of flavour. Okay. How does that look?
I think is that chopped how you want it? Or you go a little bit.
That's it. Perfect. Right. I'd like some lime zest in here. So can you get the zester from behind me? Do you remember that zester you've used for parmesan and things like that? Have I got any questions yet, Emily? I like my questions. Oh, go on. Yep. Now, did you know, genetically, we are programmed to either like coriander or not like it. It's in your genes and it's in your genetic makeup. You either like it or you don't. Right. Do you remember how to do it?
Roll it.
So, we're going to use the juice to finish with, but we're going to use the zest as a fragrance to flavour it with. Watch, Poppy. Thomas, wait. Tom. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So, like that, yeah? So you just kind of turn it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay? Right. Okay, so we are getting there. Well, yeah, but genetics, this is science, this, Emily. This is not me. This is science. Dark chocolate now. Ingredients from the Aztecs. So it's 70% chocolate, okay? You use this
7% cocoa.
to eat, don't we?
Yeah.
No. We use this as a seasoning. Now in Mexico, they will always use dark chocolate as a seasoning. That'll do, Pops. Can you zest that in? Is it a bit too bitter for you? Right.
That's not chocolate.
It's not the chocolate you know, is it?
No.
No.
Not like the chocolate pistachio house.
Oh dear. Somehow I don't think they're going to be stealing that chocolate from the cupboard. Okay, right. Let's have a good tidy up. Get me a cloth, wipe up that for me, please, Poppy. You get me some water. I'm just going to hydrate this a little bit. So what that dark chocolate does is it adds a depth of flavour, a seasoning, and it kind of brings everything together. And this is a really, really good, thank you, Tom, just add in a touch more water to there, just to bring it as a sauce. That'll do, son. Bring it together as a sauce now. So all I'm going to do, Pops, can I just take that? I'd like to wipe this down. I'll get you the sweeping brush later and you can sweep up, you two.
Why?
That'd be a nice treat for you, wouldn't it?
Yippee!
Nothing wrong with a bit of child labour in our house. Okay, right. So I'm going to get another pan on the heat. Can you leave that alone, please, for the minute? Thank you. See, look how delicious that is. Just have a smell. Tell me what it smells like. What does it smell like?
Chicken or something.
Yeah?
Like
Does it smell a bit like a chili?
yeah.
Yeah, that's because it's got lots of Mexican flavours in there. So I'm going to add a bit of lime juice to it.
I'll do.
Okay? You could add a bit in a minute with that one. So we're going to show you how to make the enchilada parcels now. Watch out.
Okay.
And I'll make one and then you two can make one.
Ooh, yeah.
All right? So, tortilla wrap. You can get gluten-free ones before Emily asks me. And they work just the same. You can honestly do it with, if you've got any pancakes left over from last night, you can use those too. Okay, so we've got some of our filling. Like so, yeah? Don't overfill it. Now, a friend of mine who is a vegan chef gave me this cheese here. Can you see this, Emily?
Yeah.
So it is a Mexican vegan cheese. You don't have to use it. I just was given it. I said I would give it a try. It's got cheese with chilies in it. I think it's made from cashew nuts as an actual cheese, but you could use a normal cheddar or a mozzarella if you want to. There we go. A little bit of cheese in there. And then I'll show you how we fold it. You'll like this, Poppy. This will be up your street. Little squeeze of lemon juice, lime juice even, just to give it that nice sort of zing. You know when like when we squeeze lemon over our food, it's already in now because we put it on the inside. Okay, so what you do is you fold that over there.
Okay.
Then you fold that one there, like that, like that, like that. And you see how every fold
It's like a pie.
has sealed the previous fold over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see?
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it again?
Yeah, do another one.
Do another one. So you fold that bit over there. Can you see that all right, Emily?
Perfect.
All right, and then turn it and then fold that one like that, and then turn it and fold that one, and then again, and then again, and then again, and all the folds then fold side down into a dry pan, or if you want to do them in the oven, you can do them in the oven. Right, you two
Only on
gonna.
a number one.
That's all right. It's going to toast nice and gently. Okay, so you two want to have a go at that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now Emily's going to fire loads of questions at me. I know she is.
Could you, if you're going to want to wrap and so you can want it as an enchilada, could you serve it with rice?
Yeah, totally. You could serve it with rice or quinoa. In the office today, we've had a discussion. Quinoa or quinoa? Quinoa over there. I'm in the quinoa camp. All right, Pops? Yeah? So just a few little great. You don't need a lot of cheese, but you could totally make this and use this for lots of different things. You could have it in a sandwich. You could have it with rice. You know, you could do it in a pie if you like. You can kind of do what you like. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it for you, son?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Little squeeze of lime juice, I think, guys.
So we fold it like this.
Yeah.
Then you fold it.
See how they listened. No, it's not in half. It's not in quarters.
Like that.
So let me just show you, and then I'll let you do it. So you do one fold,
Yeah, that's.
and then that fold there, like that,
Oh, that's what I just.
and then that fold there, like that. Do you see?
Okay, yeah.
So you have to go round the clock, Tom. So let me show you.
So like when
So that
it
one
stops
goes-
going to the pit.
Over like that, and do you see how we've created a line there? You now go across like that, and then like so, and like so, and like so, and like so. Do you want me to transfer it for you? Okay, and then we pop it in there, and because we put it fold side down and toast it, it encases all the flavours in there. Okay, got them in?
Okay.
Brill. Right, I'm going to show everyone my new latest discovery. Are you ready? This has made me quite excited.
Oh, why?
I don't think you'll be quite as excited as me. How are we doing for time, Emily? Are we okay?
Yeah.
Have I got time? I've got 10 whole minutes to show them my new purchase. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you can both do it. All right?
You need the grinder.
There we go. Yes, please. What do you think about those, Emily? Tomatillos. All right? So these are like Mexican green tomatoes. You can't get them in this country fresh, but you can get them from Amazon. I'm learning in lockdown exactly what you can buy. And you know, all of you out there, you've all been buying stuff from Amazon, but I buy weird stuff. Like amazing food that just doesn't turn up in the supermarkets. And these are like a preserved green Mexican tomato. Right, Thomas? Are you going to open this for me? So you've been trying to do it a different way, haven't you? So what you do you see that in there? Crunch. Now turn it clockwise. And then Poppy can...
Grind.
Not yet. Can you do it? Keep going. So these are slightly preserved. They're really tangy. They're just amazing. And what I thought I'd do is just show you how to make a really simple salsa and discover a new ingredient. And you might find that you absolutely love this. You can buy tomatillo salsa in the supermarkets. I've seen it. But I thought I would make a super simple one myself. Okay, so let's have a look. I know. Let me just pour these through a colander and then we'll have a look at them.
That's
Yeah? Because I think sometimes cooking is kind of all about finding new ingredients as well. Can you see those, Emily?
a really thin layer. I don't want to break.
They're just like a tinned green tangy tomato, which is all of it.
Thin skin, so it's
Yeah, they're really delicate.
easy to-
So, right, could you just move that for a second, Poppy? It's heavy, isn't it? That is the perfect pestle and mortar, in my opinion. Right, so we're going to make a simple salsa, okay? And you're going to spread loads of lime juice on this. So, nice and fine with the red onion, like super fine. Okay? Like that?
You can see the seeds.
I know. So we're going to chop them in a minute. I think you two can do it. So you need to go and select a knife each that you're comfortable with. I think there's 2 small ones over there.
Yeah, that's good. Can we cut them in?
Yeah, just wait until I've done this. And you need space because you both need to get onto the chopping board without fighting. Do you think we could do that?
Yeah.
So, right. I like to make my salsas in my pestle and mortar. So I've got my onion straight in, okay? And I'm going to pickle my onion in lime juice. Big fan of limes. Little bit of dried chili flakes, not a lot, otherwise it gets too hot, but just a little bit is nice. Little bit of salt. Little bit of pepper. and then lime juice all over. Pickled shallots or red onions in lime juice are amazing, I promise you. It's so worth just slicing up a lot of red onions, squeeze some lime juice, put them in a jam jar, and then you've got them on cheese and biscuits. It's amazing. Right, kids, are you ready to chop these tomatoes up? Let me show you. Can you see them all right, Emily? Cool, right. So, cut them in half like that. Yeah? Do you see all the seeds like that? Can you see those, Emily? Cut them into quarters and then cut them into little bits.
Oh, like little tiny bits.
Like that, and then pop those in there. Okay? Take your time, yeah? Right. Then we're just going to add a little oil, olive oil, onto our onions there. Just to kind of balance out the lime juice, because there's plenty of lime juice gone in there. So you just want to kind of, always about balance and always about taste. Taste it all the time. Let me just get that last bit of coriander and we'll pop that in there as well. Are you guys okay?
Yeah.
So if I served this up for tea, what would you think? Would you give it a go? Good. Let's have a little look. Can I just show you that, Emily? Do you see how that's toasting? A bit lower? It's toasting and it's kind of sealed everything in. So it's toasted the folds. Let's turn that one over. I think in terms of plant-based eating, people are becoming more and more adventurous, less hung up on meat. In our family, we have been flexitarian all our lives, really. We just didn't know it. It's a new term where people don't always eat meat every day, and that's just kind of how modern families tend to eat. So I think that discovery of new flavors, new techniques, new ingredients means that meat isn't missing anymore. This is an incredibly delicious, nutritious kind of dish that just doesn't miss anything. And I think in the past, vegetarian food felt like it was missing something, but now we're discovering so many different ingredients. And as a chef, I'm learning all the time about new plant-based techniques. I'm experimenting. I've got friends who are vegan chefs and they're kind of sharing ideas with me. It's really interesting time at the moment to cook. We all right, Tom? Have you given up? Move over a little bit. Pardon?
Don't mind.
They're a bit weird, are they? Shall I do these, couple? Yeah. You big Jessie.
I'm not big Jessie. It's true.
You're a tough man to please, aren't you? You eat the chocolate. He's going again. He's going in for another hit. He's determined.
It's chocolate. It must be
It's
nice.
chocolate. It's his weakness. Ate his first Easter egg yesterday. Somebody left. Don't know how that happened.
You were in charge.
I know. Right. Okay. So, all right. Take that with you, Poppy, and wash all your hands for me. Be careful with that knife, and then we can serve this up. So I've got some vegan. I've got some coconut yogurt. I'm going to serve this with instead of sour cream. Thomas, can you squeeze that lime into there for me and give that a good stir? You could stir it with a spoon. It doesn't need grinding, actually. Here's a little teaspoon. Give that a good stir. Get all the flavours mixed together, yeah? That's it. Good lad. Okay. Hold the bowl. Hold the bowl. I won't wipe your chocolate, don't worry. Okay, let's get a plate.
Ew.
And have we had any questions from anyone today? Were we question free today? Oh, that kind of disappoints me. Hold it with one hand. Hold it and then stir it. I know, Emily's been thinking on her feet today. So they are toasted beautifully now. Can you see how they've toasted now, Emily? Camera one. There we go. You see how they've toasted? Now you can do this in the pan or you can do it in the oven. Doesn't matter. All right? Okay, watch out. It's chocolate, it'll do, won't it, Tom? It's not the chocolate of choice, is it? But it'll do. Yeah, of course. There? Little bit where? There? Okay, right, so all we need to do is take these tortillas. Now, don't get me wrong, you could fill these with anything you like. That technique of folding them over each corner kind of encases all your flavours in. So if you want to do something else, but just want to try doing these, they're a great way to make enchiladas for the kids. I've got some yogurt, so this is coconut yogurt with lime juice in. So this will work really, really well. Kind of adds that freshness to it. And then we have got our incredible salsa. Poppy, can you just grab me a little silver bowl just in that cupboard there? It looks like that one. Perfect. I will show you this lovely tomatillo salsa via our friends from Amazon. Who knew Amazon supplied Mexican tinned tomatoes? But there, can you see that all right, Emily? Yeah? So you can see, I mean, there's quite a lot of liquid in there, so just drain the liquid away. Leave it like that. Fish it out. And if you have any of this salsa left, hang on to it, freeze it, and throw it into your chili next time you're making a chili, and it'll just give even more flavour. But that is how to make our vegetarian, vegan enchiladas. If you want the recipe, go to masterclass.co and you'll find the recipe there. I'm sure we'll be posting it on the Facebook page. But we will be back on Friday cooking another dish. Bit of a weekend treat because we will have got through the whole week again.
What is it?
School holidays actually this week. So no schoolwork this week, is it?
No. But what is it on Friday?
We're doing tacos on Friday.
I like tacos.
And then the following Friday, Poppy's very excited about this.
Yeah.
We're going to replicate Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavours. We're working on it now. So next Friday, it's like cinema night. And we're doing flavoured popcorns, aren't we?
I wanted to.
And we're doing, we're going to make our own fish food ice cream.
Fish food and Ben & Jerry's cookie dough.
Yes, you're going to show them how to make edible cookie dough, aren't you?
I know how to.
But anyway, that's next week. Sorry, getting a little bit carried away there. So again, this is how to make our vegan enchiladas. So if you want the recipe, please go to the website. It is a fantastic, super delicious. We're off to eat these now. Thank you very much.
Goodbye.